Doge and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on, being good stewards of tax dollars.
$50 million in condoms is insane. Because first of all, if you live in Gaza right now, the last thing you need to be worried about is having kids or even just the action of getting to them kids. Your education system is as broken as Cardi B's English. So really, I just felt like that shouldn't be priority number one, because why, of all the things that people could potentially need in Gaza right now, why would condoms be the first priority? So the more I looked into this situation, the more I was confused by the situation. But one thing that is clear and for certain is that Hamas, like many other things over in Gaza, will use anything to turn into a weapon or to a bomb against Israel. So what I saw is that starting back in 2018, they have been using condoms, kites, birthday balloons, etc. to turn those into just weapons and different kinds of devices where they're now floating these bombs over to Israel using the wind or whatever else to attack the Jewish people. So these people are just insane. And, it's not far-fetched to think that we would be funding this, because I keep thinking to myself, why are we funding both sides of the war? But we'll get more into that. Literally, my tax dollars are somehow going to defending Israel, but somehow my tax dollars are also being used to attack Israel. It's getting really, really confusing at this point. But I was looking into this story and the $50 million, and I was curious, what is going on here? Is there more information to it? So I saw that The Independent said this: Trump and his spokesperson appeared to be referring to a grant or grants that U.S. aid awarded to a group called the International Medical Corps with $102 million to provide medical and trauma services to Gaza. The State Department earlier Wednesday described this as an example of egregious funding and not aligned with American interests or the president's policies. Yeah, I think that is egregious. I mean, no matter what the money is going towards, I really don't understand why we're sending $102 million over to Gaza. I think it's pretty clear that America stands with Israel. It's also abundantly clear why America stands with Israel. They are our most consequential ally. And I understand America wants to be this, beacon of light in the world, but I just feel like at a certain point we have to pick a side. But what made this all so much more confusing to me is I just wanted to make sure that this information was being fact checked. Because $50 million to buy condoms is a pretty bold claim. And it's hard to see whether or not it's hard to know sometimes what is the truth and what is an exaggeration sometimes in today's media. So that's what I've been looking more into. And what's interesting is I saw that the International Medical Corps posted a statement on its website saying that no U.S. government funding was used to procure or distribute condoms. And what they also go on to say is how funding for trauma centers and to send doctors, water, sanitation, and hygiene services, as well as prenatal and postnatal care, is not out of the ordinary for America. So I take this with a grain of salt, because while they are saying that there isn't money being directly sent to buy condoms, at the same time, what we have seen time and time again is that when money is sent over to Gaza for humanitarian efforts, it ends up being used to create weapons, to attack Israel, and to attack ultimately the Jewish people. So I don't really know what to believe in this situation. It's hard to see. And there's sometimes going to be information that we're not privy to in the public eye, but there is a lot of people debating whether or not this $50 million claim is valid. And I guess time is going to tell with some of that.